what's good, everybody? Look, you know how we got themes for different days of the week. We got Man Crush Monday. We got, what else we got? Woman Crush Wednesday. We got Thrive Thursday or Throwback Thursday, Flashback Friday. We got all these different things for each day of the week. So I decided that we're going to make today, Tuesday, we're going to make it Testimony Tuesday. We're going to make it Testimony Tuesday. And I just want to encourage you that on each Tuesday, let's just share our personal testimonies, share our stories, share how good God has been to us. And let's show the world the evidence of God working in our life. And I believe that if we just reimagine, if you're watching, you see it behind me. If we reimagine the way we share our testimonies, we can see just an overflow of people just being drawn closer to God, and will have a desire for a relationship with Him. So I want to kick us off by sharing my personal testimony. Well, one of my personal testimonies. Those of you who know me know that I've been through a lot, but I'm still standing. That the goodness of God is real in my life. But I want to share this testimony. Many of you know that I'm from Vallejo, California. I graduated in 1992. Yeah, long time ago. But I graduated in 92, and I decided to attend Sacramento State University in Sacramento, which was an hour away from my hometown. And anyone familiar with this area knows that in order to get to Sacramento from Vallejo, you have to drive through a city called Davis. And Davis was a city that I didn't particularly like. I just didn't, for a few reasons. One, because I applied to attend the University of California in Davis, did not get accepted, and was kind of disappointed about that. Davis was also the place where one of the places where I first experienced racism at the age of 12. So I just didn't like Davis, and just driving through Davis, I was like, let's just hurry up and get through Davis and get to Sacramento. I just didn't like the city. And so going back and forth, on weekends from home back to campus, one night I was driving back to campus late at night, and I got into a car accident, a single car accident. I just lost control of my car. My car spun across the interstate several times, and it hit a tree. I didn't realize I hit a tree. Only thing I remember was opening my eyes and just seeing a pool of blood in my lap. And looking at this pool of blood, I'm wondering, where did it come from? I'm touching my body, and I don't see any wounds, but there's just a pool of blood in my lap. And I finally looked in the rear view mirror and realized the pool of blood was coming from my head. And those of you watching on camera, you could probably see this scar right here over my left eye. That scar was from that accident. And so I pulled myself out of the car, and it was late at night, so no one was, passing on the freeway. And at this time, the city of Davis was not as developed as it is now. So I end up having to walk what seemed like a short distance through a field in order to get to some place where I can get help. So I knocked on the door and there was this apartment complex across a field, and I got to the apartment complex, and the first door I came to, I just knocked on the door, and it was a UC Davis student actually who opened the door. It was a foreign exchange student at UC Davis from an Asian foreign exchange student, and who had no idea what was going on. He's just seeing this guy at his door, bleeding almost to death. And I just, only thing I could do was just do the international symbol for phone. And so he grabbed his phone and we called 911. And so the police officers came, and they asked me this question. They said, "We've been looking for you for the past hour." And they asked me, "How did you get here?" I said, "Well, I walked." And so the officer looked at me, very confused. He said, In your condition, there's no way you could have walked. And I said, well, I did walk. And so he, just really couldn't believe my story. He said, sir, there's no way you could have walked here because, for one, there's a wall that separates the interstate. Where we found your car, there's a wall, a 10-foot wall that separates the interstate from this area. And you would have had to climb that wall. And then if you're 3 miles away from where your car is located. And so I'm just looking at him like, I don't remember climbing the wall. I don't remember walking 3 miles. It seems like I walked maybe 5 minutes to get to this door. And he said, there's just no way that could have been possible. And I just left it alone. I just said, well, I did. I walked here. And so they took me to the hospital, stitched me up and things. And the next morning, my dad came and picked me up, and we went to the salvage yard to get my personal belongings out of my car, which was obviously totaled. When we got to the car, I realized that when I first looked at the car, the entire roof was caved in, except for the portion over my head. The entire roof of the car was caved in except for the portion over my head. So, of course, after that accident, I went back home. Shortly after that, I left school. I was angry. I was mad again at the city of Davis because where this accident happened was in Davis. And so I'm just angry again at the city of Davis for causing pain, causing hurt, causing rejection. And all these feelings just came back again. And I just despised the city of Davis once again. And so years went by, and I just didn't want to have anything to do with the city of Davis. I would still drive to Sacramento, but if I could, I would close my eyes just until I got through the city of Davis because I disliked the city just that much. Let's fast forward now about, 25, almost 30 years. I began working in education and was elevated really quickly into leadership roles, and I was in Atlanta, Georgia, working as the director of financial aid for a law school. When I got an offer to fly out to California for a director of financial aid position at a law school in California. Where is this law school? The University of California, Davis. It brought back a lot of emotions. I really was hesitant about even applying for the position, but it was a free trip home. So it was a free trip home to see family and friends. So why not? Let's just take the free trip and let's entertain these people who rejected me 25 years ago. And so I came to Davis for the interview. Didn't know if I was going to get the job or not. The interview went just okay. And then I got to my hotel room there in Davis. And when I got to the room, I opened up the curtains and looked out the window. And the first thing I said as I looked out the window was, there it is. There it is. What is there that I'm talking about? I was in a hotel room that now overlooks the tree that I crashed into. So here I am overlooking the tree that I crashed into 25 years previously, and all of those emotions came back again. And I got angry, and I'll admit, I got angry with God. And I said, God, you brought me back to the place that brought me so much pain. You brought me back to the place where I had to first experience hate. You brought me back to the place where I first had to experience rejection. You brought me back to the place that nearly ended my life. Why am I here? And I just started crying right there in my hotel room. And I sat there just continuing to look at this tree. And that's when I heard the voice of God clearer than I've ever heard him before. And he said, I brought you back here not to remind you of your pain, not to rehash all those old feelings of hurt and rejection and nearly losing your life. I brought you back here to let you know that I'm bringing you back to this region to have dominion over the place that once brought you so much pain. And lo and behold, a couple weeks later, not even a couple weeks later, a few days later, I received the job offer to be the director of financial aid at the University of California, Davis. And I accepted. The school that rejected me, the city that had brought me so much pain, I am now the director of their law school. That's how God works. And it reminds me of the story in 1 Kings chapter 18 when Elijah was praying for rain and he sent his servant out to say, hey, I need you to go out because I hear the sound of rain. Go out and tell me what you see. And the servant went out and he came back in and said, I don't see anything. And so Elijah told him, I need you to go look again. And so the servant went out and looked again, still didn't see anything. And he went back and forth like this for 7 times. And he just said, Master, I don't see anything. I've went back to the place you told me to look at, and there is nothing for me there. There is nothing there. But on the 7th time, he looked again, and he saw just one tiny cloud that ended up being an abundance of rain. I want to just encourage you today that place that once brought you pain, that situation that once hurt you, those people that once rejected you, God may be telling you to look again. He may be telling you to go back to that place and look again. Because although in your mind this is a place of pain, although in your mind this is a place of hurt and rejection and hate, look again. Look again and reimagine. Reimagine what that place looks like. God may be ready to bring you back to a place that brought you so much pain, bring you back to a place that brought you so much hurt, not to remind you or make you feel those same hurts and emotions all over again, but to put you in a position, to put you on a high place. And he literally put me on a high place because here I am on the 4th floor of this hotel overlooking the place that brought me pain. God is going to put you in a position to overlook the place that brought you pain. All you have to do is trust and believe him. Keep walking according to his word. Just keep living for him. Just keep living. The place that brought me so much pain, the place that I despise, the place that I hated with a passion. I'm now making an impact not only in that city, but in the entire region, the entire Sacramento region. That's not to toot my own horn or sound arrogant, but that's to tell you how great and how big my God is. To bring me back to a place that brought me so much pain to now be in a leadership role. He did it for me. He can do it for you. So that's my testimony on this Tuesday. What's your testimony? Don't be ashamed today. Share your testimony today of the goodness of God, and someone maybe that you know, or maybe someone that you don't know, is going to be blessed when they hear your story. Share your story.